Hello, darlings, and welcome back to CareOffBook. It's me, Care Darling, and guess what? We hit 2,000 subscribers, which melts my heart. It means that we love talking about musicals and performances, and guess what? I don't know, I feel like this all is coming together, but I went and saw a Broadway show, and yep, I finally saw Death Becomes Her. And I have to start by saying this is a great example of how to adapt a movie into a Broadway musical the right way. It doesn't feel like a cash grab. It feels like it was made with so much love and care for the original film. You can tell the creative team really wanted to honor what made the movie special while still making something fresh for the stage. And listen, if you've been following me for a while, you know how I feel about movies being turned into musicals and stuff. And I think whenever I hear an announcement about it, I'm usually, kind of like, I don't know about that. And then I could be won over. But Death Becomes Her, when I heard that they were making this into a musical, I was excited from the beginning, but I also was very, hesitant about it. And you know what? I found myself gravitating towards more interviews, especially the ones with Megan Hilty and Jennifer Simard. I mean, it wasn't about, them putting their own spin on the characters just to be different. It was about honoring the original performances, paying homage to Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn.
I'm guessing for all of you, when you're on that stage, you're committing. You forget who created these roles in the movie.
I don't.
I was gonna say what?
I don't
Did
forget.
I hope I got my look on camera. I was like,
no. Everything I do, I hope is done in respect towards Miss Streep and everybody who created that iconic film. I think about it every night, actually.
We're here because of them.
Yeah, and I'm in no way trying to mimic her. I just can't. I'm not that good. I can't. I can't do that. Nobody could do that. Stop it. That's not what I said. But I do. I have her picture in my dressing room, and I look at it, and I hope that anybody that's involved in the film feels very proud and honored in the way that we are trying to honor what they did
And respect it.
us. Yeah.
Respect it. Yeah.
In case you don't know, Death Becomes Her is a dark comedy about two glamorous rivals, Madeline and Helen, who become obsessed with each other's downfall. After taking a magical potion that grants immortality, their feud spirals into outrageous undead chaos.
Now a warning. Now a warning?
Now let me tell you about the experience. I saw the show at the La Fontaine Theater, which is the same place as I saw The Little Mermaid back in 2019. I know, isn't that crazy? That was my first and only Broadway show I've ever seen. And so the fact that I went back to the same theater, I don't know, it felt like a full circle moment for me. And fun little detail, I went with two people who had never seen the movie. They didn't even know what the story was about, so watching their reactions, hilarious. I mean, especially during, I'll say the battle scenes, right? And they had no idea. So to see their reactions, since it made me feel like I was watching it for the first time, and then the looks that they were giving, like, what is happening? I can't believe it. And so I don't know, it was also like joyous for me to see it unfold for them. Also, this is gonna sound so nerdy and random. Let me tell you, if you go to the theater, bring binoculars, okay? This is the best financial decision I have ever made.
Nice.
Because it's like you don't get to see all of the details on the set, and I'm someone that does love to see the details. But listen, sometimes you want to save money and you got to go up in the balcony. And listen, the balcony is great, right? You get the full show experience, but with the binoculars, you also get to see the little details. And there was a song that Ernest was singing, and he's like in a garage, and I was like, what is that photo? Like, there's a photo in the background. Got my binoculars, went to look. It's Farrah Fawcett. Like, and I was like, sitting where I was, I would have never really noticed it, but it was like a really nice detail to see. And listen, the kind of binoculars I suggest is like the bird binoculars, okay? Like actual, where is it? I have it. Is like these kind of binoculars. I like that I can actually wear it around my neck. That way, if I get up, it doesn't fall or anything like that. I know that there's like opera glasses, which I'm like, yeah, that's fun. But the chain looks like it's gonna break. And then the one with the handle, like, I just don't want to drop my binoculars during a show and I'm looking for it. So just get these, I'm like, the bird binoculars or baseball binoculars and stuff, and enjoy the show, save some money, and then just listen, you can stalk your neighbors too. Why not? All right, back to the show. So the pacing of the show is great. The music was show-stopping, but more importantly, it was smart. The songs weren't just inserted for razzle-dazzle. They were thoughtfully placed. Every time a number began, it made sense emotionally and narratively. And the first number, I had chills throughout the whole performance. It was Michelle Williams, and I was just absolutely captivated from the beginning.
I have a secret you would die for.
Now about the cast. Dee Rossioli stepped into the role of Madeline Ashton. And this was due to the sad news that Megan Hilty, decided to step out because of a vocal injury. And listen, I was supposed to see this show in May, and it said that she wasn't going to be performing. So then I postponed to go. And then of course this happens. But you know what? I'd rather her take care of herself and her craft, because listen, one day I will see Megan Hilty perform. So I'm really happy that she is a great example about like taking care of yourself. Hence, I always say, take care, darling. And Dee has a great voice, strong stage presence, but I did feel that there wasn't quite the same level of chemistry between her and the leads, especially Jennifer Simard and Christopher Sber. And the reason I say that is because let's say that these characters were being workshopped, and so I feel a sense that Megan, Jennifer, and Chris would talk to each other as far as like how comfortable can they be with each other, because they're in each other's bubbles at times. So for someone to be an understudy that's like, oh, I'm gonna do these things that they probably felt comfortable and worked on, like it seemed a little off to me. So when the scene came for, Madeline to be a bit more seductive, I just felt a sense of like, I wish she didn't look as comfortable as I, wish that this character was, where it's like, oh, what, me? Oopsie kind of thing. And yeah, that's it. That was it. Jennifer Simard as Helen, obsessed. She's sharp, hilarious, and she nailed every moment. I mean, that monologue people are miming now.
By the time they perform the autopsy, the narcanol has dissolved, leaving only traces of alcohol. She's classified as just another drunk driver, and we walk off into the sunset together! Again, just spitballing.
I absolutely loved her delivery. Also, there was an interview where she was saying that playing Helen is like a culmination of a lot of roles that she's played in her past.
Tell me, what has been your favorite part about playing Helen?
I love the arc and journey that Helen has, because it's like playing 7 different characters in one woman. Yeah. She goes through so much, and it's been a challenge. It's very difficult to do, and I love to try to rise to the occasion every night, to try to make each facet of her honest yet funny, broad strokes when you need it, then fine brush strokes when you need it. And I like that it mirrors every single role I've ever done, essentially. So it feels like coming home.
So that was something I thought was really cool and probably a lot of fun for her to do. Christopher Sber as Ernest gave such a thoughtful, layered performance. That character could easily become a background player next to 2 scene-stealing leads, but he held his ground and added so much depth and humor to the show. Watching his character unravel throughout the show, I mean, dare I say, I think it was actually quite beautiful. And Michelle Williams as Viola Van Horn, magnetic. People forget Michelle has range, and this show lets her show it off. I'm wondering if I could find it, but I remember there was an interview where Beyonce was like, and Michelle is just so soulful. And I think whenever we think about Michelle in Destiny's Child, we think, oh, the bridge. Or we think like, wow, she has a gorgeous alto register and stuff. But oh my gosh, when I tell you this woman has range, and she was so seductive. And now listen, in the movie, there's a part where she's like young and then she's also naked. So in my head, I was like, she's gonna come out semi-nude, and there was a dress where it gave that kind of illusion, but it was sparkly and gorgeous. And also costumes won, like the Tony Awards, right? It won best costume, and I absolutely agree. Like each outfit change, whether it was the leading ladies or it was the chorus, like the ensemble, gorgeous, beautiful, and colorful and sparkly. That's probably why I like it, because I'm like, wow, so shiny. Now, I have a special kind of love for these two characters that were put in the musical. One is Stefan, the assistant to Madeline Ashton, and Chagal, who is the assistant to Viola Van Horn. And to me, this was so interesting. I thought Stefan was a great addition and stuff because it added more layers. I think it also helped because we started to see Helen's side as far as how she felt about Madeline, because she had Ernest there to, you know, talk to or sing to and stuff. And so the point of Stefan was helpful because then Madeline had someone to talk to about Helen. So as the audience, we were able to like understand the rivalry with these two very quickly. And then with Chagal, oh my gosh. Chagal is the reason why I want to see this musical again, because I was like, wait a minute, he's in a couple scenes, most likely himself. For example, at one point he goes to like drop off the invitation for Helen's book party to Madeline. And then I noticed that like he was dressed up as a very sexy UPS guy. And I was like, what in the Legally Blonde is going on?
I've got a package.
And I definitely had a reaction because I was like, that man is too fine to look like that at the job. But then I was like, wait a minute, him being put in these scenes actually makes sense and actually has more like intentions to why he may be there and kind of, you know, playing the chess pieces, if you will. So yeah, that was something I thought was a lot of fun. I wonder if you saw the musical. Did you notice that? Or maybe it's just me. The ensemble were also so much fun, and I loved it every time they came to dance. Their precision, their humor, their stamina, and yes, there are stunt performers involved, which adds even more spectacle. I mean, there was even some people there that the high kicks they would do, I was like, oh my gosh. By the way, can I share a semi-funny story? Okay, great. So I wore this jacket to go see the show, right? And during the party scene, it was like someone came in and they were like absolutely gorgeous and everyone cheers. And I was like, oh, fun. Second person comes into like the entrance and everyone's like, woo, great. And then a woman comes in all in this kind of blue blonde hair. And I was like, wow, I saw myself like in this woman. And so my friend is next to me and I was like, oh my gosh, look, it's me, right? Because I'm laughing because I'm like, oh my gosh, we're matching. And then no one cheers. And I realized that it was Madeline being old and like not as like needed anymore. And I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, okay, I kind of embarrassed myself, but yeah. To sum up my thoughts on Death Becomes Her, I'd say this musical is an absolute love letter to the original film. If you love the movie, chances are you'll be delighted by the musical. And if the musical is your first taste, I have a feeling you'll be rushing to watch the film right after. They really honor each other in the best way. When I was leaving the theater, I actually heard someone say, oh, I didn't even realize this was a movie. I definitely want to go see it. And that made me so happy because I was like, the fact that they enjoyed the musical so much that they're going to go appreciate, you know, the art that it was from. So I thought that was really cool. Anyways, darlings, that's enough of my thoughts. I'd love to know yours. Like, would you see this even if you haven't watched the movie? And what movie would you love to see turned into a musical next? I'll go first. I actually think 27 Dresses would be a great musical, but that could be a different episode if you're ever interested, because I could go into it why. But anyways, darlings, I really do hope that you are able to see Death Becomes Her. And if Death Becomes Her is on tour, I'm telling you, I think you absolutely should go and see it, because it is like, if you want to laugh and have a good time, this musical is absolutely for you. Also, in a weird way, it is kind of girl power and stuff. And when thinking about the Death Becomes Her movie, the director also directed Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So I was like, what is up with this guy? Like having really femme fatale like women. And yeah. Anyways, darlings, if you enjoy talking about musicals, Disney, and other performances, I think you've come to the right place. All right. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, darling.